The dangers of facial recognition technology. Facial recognition technology has been gaining traction in the market lately, whether it is biometric authentication, identifying shoplifters, adding to home security, or automatically being tagged on social media platforms. The technology is driving innovation across almost every sector. But is the technology safe? The data that is gathered and mined for facial recognition to work is people's information. For instance, Facebook's auto tag feature on the photos uploaded has attracted a lot of criticism for the social media giant. The problem was that Facebook never sought permission from its users to activate the new feature for their profiles, in turn jeopardizing their privacy and security. And, consequently, they had to also pay for it after settling the lawsuit against them in the form of $550 million. There is no doubt that technology brings humongous opportunities to the table and makes lives easier, but what it asks in return culminates into a complicated technology-human relationship. Working on facial recognition technology. Facial recognition technology is a programmed system that analyzes digital images or video footage for identifying and verifying an individual's identity. It does so by mapping the user data across available databases. The technology also analyzes the personal data of the identified person, resulting in a threat to society. The process of recognizing the identity of an individual through this technology is as follows. The system captures the still images or video for scrutiny. The system works at its best when the person is looking right into the camera or at a 90-degree angle. The system reads and analyzes the geometry of the face using nodal points, i.e., the distance between eyes, nose width, cheekbone shape, eye socket depth, and jawline length. You would be surprised to know that a human face includes about 80 such nodal points, which then help in defining the facial signature. The facial signature exists in the form of a mathematical formula, which is then mapped across the available databases. If there is a match, the identity of a person gets verified, along with other supporting data. Now that you understand the working of a facial recognition system, here are some of the risks of using the technology. 1. Threat to privacy. Data collection and its ongoing accessibility by the facial recognition system is conducted by businesses without the user's permission. It is similar to a stranger clicking your photographs on a street without you even knowing it. Doesn't that sound bizarre? To worsen the situation, the data and facial signature would be stored across databases for any future references, just like what Facebook does, as already mentioned above. The funny part is that these systems are not even 100% accurate. Imagine two people with familiar facial geometry and features being misinterpreted by the system. It would be an identity hoax that could lead to confusion down the line. 2. The security issue. The introduction of facial recognition systems is certainly good technological progress, as it adds to the ease of identifying criminals who tend to pose several identities. Not only the public security sector, but other sectors across the globe are gaining advantage from the technology as well. But that doesn't mean that one needs to overlook the bigger picture. The databases that accommodate the A to Z data of an individual are stored on virtual cloud servers. This would mean that the data is vulnerable, as it can possibly be breached by hackers. This isn't an ideal scenario at all. Analyze the worst-case scenarios. Information can be accessed illegally, data can be stolen, data can be replaced with inaccurate data, data can be erased from the databases, data can be used for conducting illegal activities, and data can be sold inappropriately on the dark web. All of the dangers are equally intense and add to anxiety and fear. So again, do you think facial technology is worth all of this? 3. The identity hoax. Assume this scenario. John committed a crime and is currently running from being penalized in the court of law. He has a doppelganger, Liam, with almost the same facial features. Liam is a banker and lives a reputable life. Liam is heading on a holiday with his family members to Miami, and authorities stop him at the airport for investigation. Liam did not do anything, so what exactly went wrong? The facial recognition system at the airport mapped him incorrectly and concluded him to be John. The actual criminal runs away, and a reputable gentleman pays the price. That is called an identity hoax. Facial recognition systems are still an evolving technology, which should not be relied upon completely. This could even pose a threat to the technology holders, because later, people like Liam can file lawsuits against the misidentification and are highly likely to win. Many different situations can fall under the umbrella of self-defense, and as a self-defense fund member, you have victim rights. If you find yourself in the situation of being arrested for false identification, your membership can cover your legal expenses. 4. Intensifying criminal offenses. People have a right to live their lives the way they want, and the same applies to their occupational preferences and lifestyle. Nobody gets the right to use the destructive power of technology to stalk a person and harass them for their life choices. It seems that facial recognition systems have been contributing to such offenses lately. A Russian facial recognition app, Find Face, identified women and also harassed them, as the system claimed they were working for pornography websites. This dark part of the technology was totally uncalled for. The above situation also shows how technology can be manipulated for triggering criminal activities. If you come to think of it, facial recognition can be used by serial killers or obsessed individuals for tracking information illegally. 5. Sexual and racial discrimination. That may sound obnoxious in the present times, but facial recognition apps have been differentiating people based on their color and gender. A report even stated that the results of facial recognition are 99% accurate if the individual is a white male. The darker the skin tone, the harder it is to identify a person. This biasing by the system is making this world an unfair place to live. Do you know Google once apologized for this in 2015? Google's facial recognition system recognized Africans as gorillas in Google Photos. This miscategorization led to several debates and controversies down the line. A representative was quoted as saying, "Image labeling technology is still early, and unfortunately, it's nowhere near perfect." But such imperfect instances might become the reason for people trusting these organizations less. What can be done to fight the dangers of facial recognition systems? Boycotting facial recognition systems completely should not be the conclusion, as the possibilities of the technologies are immense. But there certainly needs to be protocols and regulations around how the people's data, security, privacy, and other concerns are handled. Reminder: SDF membership can defend you and possibly recover any damages.